टिक टिक करती ये घड़ी बता रही है कि अब समय हाथ से निकलता जा रहा है. The ticking of the clock is telling us that time is slipping out of our hands. Our past circumstances are limited. A massive asteroid is heading towards our Earth. Its target is a very big city, Ghani Awadabala. The asteroid is getting closer and bigger. People on Earth are busy saving their lives from the coming danger in their own ways. It's an asteroid, a kilometer in diameter, and when it hits, there will be a catastrophe. But before the impact, there will be some warning signs in the last few hours. What will be the reaction of governments to this warning? How will scientists see it? And what will happen to us ordinary people when they realize that there is no way to survive now? They will have to accept it. This is not a drill. In these videos, we will share with you the last moments of the asteroid's impact 24 hours before its collision with Earth. We are the ones responsible for stopping that terrible and ultimate destruction. At the end of this video, you will know everything clearly. If this scenario becomes real in the future, then how will you spend your last day? Asteroids have hit the Earth before with such force, and such destruction has happened before as well. But how do we know if we only have 24 hours left to live? Let's start the countdown to impact. Let's do it. 24 hours before impact. It all started with a discovery. Astronomers were trying to track a big asteroid with the help of telescopes. But that asteroid was on the other side of the moon, but suddenly a strange thing appeared. It was such a strange asteroid. When scientists saw it, they were shocked. The calculations showed that its surface is very smooth and strange. It is the one that can destroy our Earth in just 24 hours. The asteroid is so big that its impact will be catastrophic on a large scale. This asteroid is about to hit the surface of America. Scientists give this information to the International Government Agency, National Aeronautics and Space Administration, European Space Agency, Indian Space Research Organization, and China National Space Administration. And apart from this, the United Nations also comes into action immediately. लेकिन तकरीबन को सिर्फ 24 घंटे ही बचे हैं. In such a situation, taking a measured approach and acting with patience is the most appropriate thing to do. Because Asteroid Darty is so close that with such a mission, we won't be able to stop it, and it's not possible to launch a mission in such a short time. Everyone understands the reality, and it becomes even clearer. This asteroid will hit the Earth. No one can stop it. Our technology, our intelligence, everything has failed in front of the Earth. After the asteroid impact was confirmed, the leaders of the entire world were given the responsibility to inform the people so that even the common people of this world could be prepared in advance. For population, these shelters are built at the end of their life. These shelters are meant to be used at the end of life. That's why people are sent an emergency message broadcast. This message was simple. Lekin Daravana is also a city killer giant. The asteroid is expected to hit within the next 24 hours. If you evacuate now, go to the nearest shelter built on a safe place and stay there for impact. People are listening to this in fear. Next, they still don't know what to believe about what they just heard. How does something like this even happen? People are thinking that in this peaceful neighborhood, such a big target for an attack is really shocking. And how did all this finally happen? But the truth was clear to everyone. And as soon as this news spread, fear started to grow in the whole world. People were afraid to go out. They started feeling safer staying at home. Patriswarimpi Mandior Shan Yadade Dhilnejin Reloge Jisko or Troshogenius and Int community. Even today, everyone was quiet. People were watching this scene in silence at home. The government is still working with organizations in this direction. But in this impact zone, it's not possible to save everyone. Here, everyone has to make quick decisions. Time is running out little by little. Either leave that place, find a shelter far away, or be ready to face the asteroid with your eyes open. The countdown has started at every place 18 hours before the impact. In the corners of the world, people are gathered together in shelters. The impact zone has been declared a danger area, but even with this warning, there is still chaos, confusion, and panic everywhere in the city. Highways are showing scenes of parking lots everywhere. Some people want to go home to take their loved ones, while others are still trying to leave the city. People are stuck on the highways. Public transportation is in a bad state. The border control situation has worsened, with millions awaiting reports. Due to the situation in the cities, the airports have also been shut down. Now it is clear that there is no time left to save everyone. This is causing a lot of anxiety among people. Everyone wants to save themselves and their loved ones. You can still see smoke rising in some places. For evacuation, the national military is being deployed. Even after seeing the scale of this destruction, they are still shocked. To keep the line order in the city, the emergency services are allowed to use their limits. But it seems so dark that it's hard to see anything ahead. At this time, Inspector John is the one who gives people the confidence to survive. And even those who are afraid of Inspector John are forced to follow the rules. Make arrangements for underground bunkers because after the impact, you will be affected by the shock wave. It is not safe to stay in houses because the shock wave will destroy everything. People living in coastal areas have been advised to evacuate immediately, so the possibility of damage being limited only to the impact site is a misconception that often comes up in people's minds. That's why scientists around the world are constantly monitoring the situation. But the truth is that they all know that they can't do anything either. Behind the scenes, politicians are holding urgent meetings with scientists and discussing the worst-case scenario. There is talk about deploying resources in the right direction. But now, less than 18 hours are left on the surface of the lake. Time is running out. The American government always wants to save as many people as possible in such disasters and accidents, so that with this disaster, those people can be saved who will give new direction to human civilization. In this way, people are chosen from every place and every group. For the survival of this kind of disaster, it is necessary to airlift those people into specially built underground bunkers. Yes, it is believed that special instructions are given to only bring certain people to the surface. In fact, children were strictly prohibited from bringing anyone else along with them. Media outlets are constantly broadcasting updates. Evacuation efforts and related activities are being closely monitored. People in India are watching all this on television and are very emotional. It is rare for such a situation to arise where the threat of war causes so much concern across the entire country. After the entire world turned its attention to the situation in the country, the government has started focusing on the borders and security arrangements. In fact, before this, the entire world, or at least most of the countries, are either sitting quietly or are gathering on the streets in search of a safe place. They are all scared, they are all in fear because their homes are in danger. In fact, few children remain on the surface. Not just people from Surf New York and America, but the whole world has been shaken by this fear. Just as news outlets are covering this upcoming disaster, scientists are engaged in making detailed predictions about what its impact could be. Which places are considered safe? The map of the projected impact zone is being shown on television. People are being shown the live status of this entire disaster in the most detailed way possible. Here, the speed is increasing rapidly as it approaches 60-62 miles per hour. When it collides, it will immediately release energy equivalent to several atomic bombs. People react differently when they see this disaster coming. Some people start praying and go to religious places. They go to temples, mosques, churches, and gurudwaras and pray that God will do some miracle for them. Children also do the same thing. But some people don't even want to believe that in the coming days, this world will be destroyed. They feel that there is some mistake with the scientists or the government. Some people make fun of this news and try their best to ignore it. Social media becomes a digital diary of the last few hours of this world. People post their last messages, prayers, and wishes for the world. Some people post to express their feelings for their loved ones. If you look, every side of the internet is filled with such posts. Hashtag final day, hashtag asteroid strike. Just like that, the internet is filled with hashtags. People keep posting photos and messages all the time. Some people even want to experience this disaster live, and they want to see the end of the world with their own eyes. A mechanical system keeps running in the same way. People want to leave their jobs and businesses and spend the last moments of their lives with their loved ones. Stock market crashes as soon as this news comes out. Companies can go bankrupt in a single day. Banks are defaulting, and in the world there are reports of people losing their money in banks. On the old map, it looks like time is running out and tensions are building up everywhere. Some countries that are outside the impact zone are coming forward to provide shelter and help to those people. But everyone knows from Lake and Anda that these are their last prayers. Whether they or anyone else survives or not, only prayers will work now. Before the impact, there is still life on the surface in the impact zone. The situation is still getting worse every moment. Even though people didn't realize it at first, they have now accepted that there is no way to survive anymore. Those who couldn't evacuate in the impact zone, they prepare themselves mentally for the worst case scenario of their lives. Families gather together in one place in their homes. They make confessions, and sometimes in those moments they pray that their final moments will also be peaceful. Even some people who know this still believe that living is difficult. Still, they keep hope alive in underground shelters and basements. They risk their lives and do all this just to survive. In the midst of this danger, many stories of courage and bravery also began to emerge. They were the angels who kept fighting for humanity. That day, one of them opened the doors of his basement for everyone. While helping another during the neighbor dispute, he found himself in trouble. In these last few hours, communities come together and it seems easier to face this disaster together. Now, this world is not the same as it was just a few hours ago. Because of the intensity of this event, people in many places kept hearing loud noises even after breaking the sound barrier. People were looting stores, shops and warehouses by breaking into them so that they could survive as long as possible in those bunkers. Some people are hiding in their homes out of fear. लेकिन शायद वो ये नहीं जानते कि ये खतरा कितना भयानक होने वाला है. Even the police are unable to control the crowd of so many people. They are unable to do anything except watch helplessly as this disaster unfolds before their eyes. There, Akri sometimes takes people to show them the religious leaders in the nearby villages, those who are leaked to be involved and who, through their statements, try to justify this act to others. Philosophers, scientists, and great religious teachers reflect on the meaning of life and the purpose of existence. They debate on this topic. It seems that there is debate on every belief and concept in the world. Many people in this context try to find answers by exploring the universe and understanding its mysteries. For some people, this becomes a time to look for answers to these mysteries. They remember their lives, recall their good and bad deeds, and want to move forward in the light of faith. But for some people, this time is full of fear and pain. They are still working tirelessly in the hospital, taking care of the patient without any hesitation, even in the last moments of life. They are staying completely alert. Someone like this last-minute barrier who stands in the way of this whole game, who shows them a glimpse of hope. Isn't it possible that someone in the last moments could completely change their path in the game? Vyajanik also had the same hope, and so did the people of the world. Is there anything that can be done at this time to save our planet? लेकिन महज 6 घंटों से भी कम समय बचा था. Everyone's eyes were fixed on the ticking of the clock. Now, hope was starting to fade away. From the impact, one group was left behind in the first round. Now, that doctor is looking completely safe and sound in the astronaut suit. It is very bright and is coming towards Earth at a fast speed. Every minute, its size is increasing. According to news channels, it looks like the live footage of the asteroid is being shown as scientists are explaining the progress of the asteroid in real time. Everyone knows that after the next hour, what will happen. Soldiers are standing on duty, scientists, police, and television. Reporters and the rest of us are also among those who are going to die in this disaster. They know this, but still they are performing their duty. For humanity's sake, even if Manav Jati gets up once again, they are fully prepared to give their lives for the safety of their loved ones. In these last moments, a strange silence prevails over the entire impact site area. In such situations, people seem lost. It is difficult to know what is going on in their minds. Birds start circling in the sky as if they know the end is certain. Animals start running out of the forest towards the cities. There is a strange silence among all the people. Everyone knows that this is going to happen for sure. Everyone is ready for a major shock. People from the entire world are watching this event live. Everyone knows that after the impact, the shock wave will come. The dust and debris will turn the atmosphere into a deadly trap, and this will take the entire world back to its ice age. Some scientists are trying to predict the impact event. Here, dust, soot, and explosions will block sunlight for months or even years. Because of this, plants will die. Without sunlight, photosynthesis will stop completely. Governments have a final plan for people in these last moments. In a few minutes, our time together will come to an end. Asteroid impact is not certain, but if you find a place where you can hide, do not leave that place until you are told it is safe. After the impact, rescue teams will come to help us. We pray that after this impact, we will not have to say goodbye to anyone else and that we all survive this impact. Some people are seen praying together in groups and expressing their faith in God. There, some people are gathering with their loved ones. They all wait together to hear the final moments. At that moment, from the depths of that darkness, humanity is recognized in a few moments. Explosion after explosion happens. Finally, the asteroid collides with its own shadow and is completely destroyed. Trying to understand this, fear fills the mind, and then a loud explosion occurs. As soon as people hear the news of such a disaster, they will be shocked and will die instantly. Those people who were present at the impact site did not even get the time to think or react. The reaction time of the human brain is just a few milliseconds. Before their brain could process anything, before they could think anything, they were instantly vaporized. The energy released from this impact was something that we humans had never seen before. That flame was still moving forward, spreading. That was a shockwave which kept destroying everything in its path until it reached the Chicxulub crater. Buildings collapsed, the ground shook violently, and there was nothing left on the surface except for the remains of the disaster. The shockwave was moving at supersonic speed. Everyone was stunned by that explosion. After a while, when the intensity of the shockwave decreased, the real extent of the destruction became clear. The impact site was filled with dust, and the remains of the asteroid were scattered everywhere in the sky. This hot lava was about to rain down on the people, animals, and houses below. The entire sky was filled with smoke and dust from miles away. Fire fell into the jungle, causing the animals to burn alive. Insan couldn't bear this heat. All the people in the nearby area died in this heat. The impact was so strong that big cracks appeared all over the ground. Because of the earthquake, people left their homes and it became difficult for animals to move forward in search of food and water. Finally, it happened at a place where such a scene had never been seen before in the whole world. The noise of the sun. For years, there was no clear evidence of the collision, which made it difficult to determine the exact cause. Global impact winters had begun. Things started to get worse. The few living beings that survived started dying one by one. लेकिन इंसान जो इस तबाही को सरवाइव कर पाए, उनका भविष्य अंधेर में लटका हुआ था. Now they had to face even bigger difficulties. Surviving on this earth after the global impact winters, food chain collapse and ecosystem collapse was going to be extremely difficult. But the question is, what happened after the impact? Who survived this impact? You'll find the answer to this in the upcoming episode. What we saw today, it looked more like a scene from a science fiction movie, but the asteroid impact is a reality. If you ever find yourself in these situations, what would you do? Keep your thoughts with us in the comment section below. If you like this video, please like and share it on your social media.